When Emperor Rennicus fell, the Empire of Calradia fractured into three, and a civil war was waged for his crown. It was during this time that our hero, Adrius, learned that even loyal subjects of the Empire could still suffer its wrath, and that even those without a sword could still die upon one. Hey guys, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with some Bannerlord for you. Before we dive into our campaign, I'd like to provide you with a quick backstory for our character. Our hero, Adrius, was born to a pair of Imperial freeholder farmers somewhere in the west near Rote. He had an older brother and eventually two younger siblings as well. From a very young age, it was clear that he had a way with people, and he could always be found leading the village children in some new scheme. He also liked to explore the surrounding forests. As he got older, he and his brother could be relied upon to bring home fresh game for dinner each night. When he came of age, he was trained to defend his home with spear and shield as part of the village militia. Overall, he lived a relatively quiet life. He had no great victories or escapades, but he did become very well known and well liked in the area surrounding Rote. This all changed when the Empire fractured and fell into civil war. His village found itself at the edge of the territory claimed by the pretender, Garios. They owed no loyalty to Garios, but that didn't stop an army from the south from raiding his village and putting anyone who resisted to the sword. Adrius and his young siblings were spared when their parents locked them away and sacrificed themselves to protect their children. In the aftermath of the raid, the village had been left defenseless against bandits and brigands, who saw their opportunity and took it. Adrius avoided being sold into slavery only by tricking his captors. Unfortunately, he could not prevent his younger siblings from being taken. Riding out to meet his older brother, he is determined to save what remains of his family and avenge his home. So I'm sure plenty of you are wondering where I've been the last 2 years, but let's save that for another video. For now, let's go ahead and dive right in and talk a little bit more about the play of this campaign. So, joining Adrius as he escaped outside of Poros, led all the way into the Southern Empire, where he finds himself in the training field. So, our goals, at least for the initial part of this campaign, are going to be to build an army and use that army to free our younger siblings from the bandits that have taken them captive, and then reunite both with them as well as our older brother. And from there, we can look at maybe going on into sort of the mid-game, if you will. Our ultimate goal in this campaign is going to be to create sort of a Calradian republic. And so we probably won't be joining any of the Empire factions, or potentially any factions at all for that matter. We'll say Adrius has maybe kind of had enough with the lords and their politics that have created these civil wars. And so he is not really interested in playing that game. He wants to sort of start a faction of his own where, you know, the peasants aren't seen as fodder, if you will. So we are pretty strapped for cash, and we are completely alone. So I think the first thing we should do is let's head down to Poros and see if there's any money-making opportunities for us. The nice thing about starting down here in this part of the Empire is there is not a lot of the way in nasty bandits. And also there's quite a few towns that are within, you know, decent riding distance. So let's start with Poros. We'll see what we can do here. So we do have a quest. A gang needs recruits. I don't think that's something we want to get involved in just yet. In general, I think Adrius is going to be pretty averse to bandits. It is, of course, bandits who took his siblings captive. And in general, if we look at him as a character, he has pretty much all of the like lawful good traits. So we are going to kind of play him in that vein. So roguery, probably not something he's going to be particularly interested in. Raiding villages, not something he's going to be doing a lot of, etc. Anyway, if we go to the tavern, it looks like we do have one potential companion. This guy is pretty much the exact polar opposite. I'm going to go ahead and mention this now since we are looking at companions or a companion. The way I'm going to play this is we're going to have effectively rules as to who we can recruit, because I have mods that allow me to recruit a lot of companions. So we could almost build an army entirely of companions if we really wanted to, but I would like to limit myself. And then the way I'm going to do that is anybody who has the cruel trait is automatically out. If they have cruel, it doesn't matter what else they have. We're going to say that they're not compatible. We're not interested in, fighting alongside anybody who is cruel. In addition to that, they're only going to be allowed one negative trait. So somebody being close-fisted isn't necessarily the end of the world. Somebody being a little bit devious isn't necessarily the end of the world. But if they have multiple negative traits, or we'll say red, because I guess negative is more of a matter of perspective, if you will. But if they have more than one negative trait, then they're also out. And so this guy is not even an option. But we will, as we go along, encounter, I'm sure, plenty of people who will fit the bill. I've already selected some. So if we go into heroes, you can see I've starred a few who fit what we're looking for and are actually quite useful. So we'll see if we encounter any. We'll also be taking companions that you guys create in the comments. I'm running the Distinguished Service mod. So most of those characters, I think, are the ones that we're going to be creating sort of in the vein of what you guys come up with in the comments. For the named Wanderer characters, I'll probably leave them as is. But since the Distinguished Service characters are entirely randomized and just kind of pop up whenever an unnamed character fulfills a certain set of achievements, we'll overhaul those guys to make them match what you guys come up with. So feel free to roleplay some characters in the comments. I'd love to get back to what we used to do in Warband. I would say try to stick to... you know what? I'm not going to put any like hard limitations on it, but obviously the more... I always try to encourage like lore-friendly roleplay. Coming up with original character ideas, etc. But we can kind of discuss that more later on. So nothing really for us in the tavern. We could also potentially recruit some troops. I'm running My Little Warband, so we're actually going to potentially be recruiting our own unique units. So for example, we have these Kalradian units who are still Imperial in culture, but they have a slightly different sort of flavor to them, I guess. I've tried to go for more of like a late Roman aesthetic rather than like a Byzantine one that the Empire has in this game. And so we'll primarily be using our own troops for this. And then as we conquer other cultures, or I guess as we merge other cultures into our republic, let's say it that way, we'll come up with kind of like auxiliary troops for those different cultures that kind of fit into that mold. So wow, nothing to do in the way of building up our army. How about making some money? Are there any goods worth selling? So this is going to be difficult because we are not really skilled at all in trade yet. So we're going to have to kind of do this the old-fashioned way. We don't even have a lot of trade rumors. So it says that 20 is a good price for cheese, but we don't know what it'll go for elsewhere. 24 for beer. Oh, we could sell that for 44 at Lycaron, and that's close by. So we're almost doubling our money with that one. That might be worth it. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay, hides look like the way to go. I'm glad I kept scrolling. So we would triple our money effectively, even a little bit more than triple. Not quite quadrupling our money. But there is more than enough hides for us to just basically buy out whatever we can afford. I want all of them, or as much as I can. Yeah, as much as I can take. So 27, it looks like. Let's go ahead and do that. And I can't afford anything else, so unless we see a better deal. No, but if we go to Lycaron, it looks like we might be able to buy some silver ore and then sell it here for a profit. So we might be able to run back and forth and make a little bit of cash. There's some other stuff here that we could potentially turn around for a profit, but it looks like it's not going to be anywhere near the same amount of profit as we're going to be getting from the hides. So let's go ahead and do that. Ooh, I'm going to be moving so slow. I really hope we don't encounter any bandits. It's not a long journey, but it's going to really slow us down to be carrying that much, and it could put us in a lot of danger. Another way that we're going to try to make money early on is through smithing. I do not have any raw materials to do that with just yet. I also don't have any skill in it, and I only have one focus point, and I'm not sure I want to burn it in smithing. So my thought is that maybe we will try to pick up a dedicated smithing character, and we'll have them fulfill that role, because I don't want to spread my points out too thin. How did we end up with roguery again? Oh, I think because we tricked the raiders. A little bit of roguery is fine. There are some advantages to going down the roguery tree, even if you don't plan on playing like a bandit character. But we probably won't invest in it too much. Let's see. But yeah, I don't want to spread my points out too thin. And so if we can avoid dumping anything into smithing, if we can offload that to somebody else, I think that would be wise. So if we can pick somebody up relatively soon, maybe that's what we'll do. Especially, eventually we're going to need an engineer for our army, and that's kind of a good sort of secondary skill for them to have, I would think. So, yeah. What do I want to do with this focus point? I think riding is probably a good place to go with it. We are on horseback, and we will be fighting from horseback. So not having any focus points there does kind of hurt us. One-handed is also something that we'll eventually be speccing into quite heavily. Right now, we don't have a one-handed weapon. We only have a spear, a shield, and a bow. So we don't necessarily need to worry about that just yet. But down the line, one-handed is something that we're going to be investing heavily in, so we'll potentially end up at 5 focus points. For now, though, I think riding makes the most sense, because we're going to be fighting entirely from horseback, probably for the entirety of this campaign, you know, barring like sieges or something. So we should be leveling that relatively quickly, and not having any focus points in there will probably slow us down quite a bit. All right, so that's about all there is to be done here at Poros. So now we need to make our run to Lycaron and pray that we don't encounter anything along the way that might want to attack us. Also have to pray that by the time we get there, oh, here we go. 5 looters. I don't think there'll be a problem. Let's go ahead and take them on. With a bow from horseback, looters are kind of easy mode. So I don't know why it's showing me the tutorial. I'll try to get rid of that real quick after this battle. We don't have a lot of bow skill either, so it's going to be a little bit tricky, but firing into a crowd like this shouldn't take a whole lot of skill. I'll just keep riding in circles. They don't seem to be aiming their rocks particularly well. Did that guy just fall on his ass? I think he did. Yeah. So part of the reason why our accuracy is so poor is because we're moving. We don't have any perks to offset that yet. So if I just sit still, should be fine. I just need to make sure I keep moving a little bit because they're going to pelt me with rocks. That must be the knockdown mod. So I have a mod that, depending on the weapon type and the damage taken and... Oh, well, come on. What else? What else? What else? Weapon type, damage taken, and location of the damage. That kind of bounced off my face, didn't it? Characters can get knocked down, knocked off their feet, etc. For arrows, I didn't think it was particularly high probability, but I guess it was high enough. But for things like javelins, if you hit somebody square in the chest, they're going to go down every time. Even if they don't die, it's going to knock them clean off their feet. We'll take the prisoner. We can ransom them even if they're not worth all that much. And we will go ahead and take all the loot because every coin counts at the current juncture. Are these... Those are slightly worse than what I have, but they're slightly lighter. This is what most of my custom troops are wearing, so maybe just to be on brand, we should swap to those. But otherwise, you know what? Hold on. These are worth more, and they're 1 point worse. I don't really care about 1 point of armor, but if they're going to sell for more than double, we should probably just sell them for now. Alright, so hopefully not too many more looter packs on the way. This is going to be a pretty treacherous journey at this rate. Thankfully, we have a patrol party kind of running bandits off for us. Alright, we're almost there. So let's see. Have the prices changed? I pray that they have not. So hides. They are going to sell for 127. That's not as much as it said they were going to sell for, but it's still pretty close. So we're going to make a nice little profit there. We'll also offload all of this stuff. I'm going to keep the fish. I don't mind having a little bit of variety in terms of food. The stones, I guess I'll offload as well. They're not really worth anything to me either way. Let's see. Do you have hardwood and how much? Oh, wow. Okay, so we can buy hardwood for 3 dinars each, and they'll sell for almost 50 at Poros. So we should probably buy up all of this. You know what? I don't know if I get trade. Hold on. I don't know if I get trade skill if I immediately spend the money that I would be making. So let me sell this stuff just to confirm that I do get the trade XP, which is going to be quite a lot. We got 16 points just from that one transaction. I guess it was technically 2. And then we can go ahead and buy the hardwood. I will pay... Okay, so I can buy all of it. I guess we may as well. And... Is there anything else that might be worth? We saw that silver ore was potentially going to make a lot of money. It looks like it will effectively double our investment. But that's not as good as we thought based on the previous prices that we saw. So I guess we do have... we do have more than enough. Wait, that's salt. I don't want to be doing salt. Okay, I want to be doing silver ore. Give me all of it. Okay. I think that's good. So we're up to 2,000 now. We doubled our money in one little trip. Can we recruit here? We can. So we have all these Calradian recruits. And then we also have Calradian Eques recruits, basically cavalry recruits. If you guys want to see the troop tree, here it is. So, again, I'm going for kind of a late Roman look. And otherwise, it's going to be relatively standard. I tried to stick to the vanilla troop tree sort of structure as much as possible, just because the opposing factions are all going to be using vanilla units. And so I didn't want to drastically deviate from that to keep things relatively balanced. So we have our melee tree here and then our range tree here. We're going from basically spearman with shield to better armored spearman with shield. And then as we get into the legionaries, these guys are going to be armed with pila as well as a sword and a shield. And then they'll continue down that line and just get progressively more skilled and heavier armored. And the alternative path, so this is like the final one, and yes, they are wearing the same armor, but I have tweaked some equipment so that there are basically tiers of that armor to make them slightly more protected. And then if we go down the alternative path, there are lighter skirmisher units. So these guys are carrying a bag of javelins and lighter armor so that they can move a little bit more effectively. They're not going to stand up as well in melee combat, so that you don't want these guys as sort of like your line troops, but they are a good screening force that can also hold their own. Now, if we continue down the other path, we have the Monalitos, or Monalitoi pikemen. So these guys are just carrying a really long pike, and so they're going to be counter cavalry units effectively, and they just get progressively heavier armored as we go down that path. So if we return to the original tree, how many times do I have to go back? There's also the range tree, so we have the Sagittarius here, which is archer. The archers don't really change much other than about halfway down they get heavier armor and they're a little bit tankier. And then we also have the Ballistarius, or the crossbowmen. And at right here, they basically become equipped the same as the legionaries, just with a crossbow rather than a sword and shield, or sorry, pila and shield. So they have the same sword, they have the same armor, they just have a crossbow and bolts and a sword instead of the other stuff. And I'm trying to figure out, I want to be able to work in a shield with them too. It'd be really cool, I think, to have a crossbow unit that could fight as effectively in melee as a melee unit, sort of like these guys, for example. However, I might need to add in larger stacks of bolts or something, because right now the biggest stack I think is like 26 bolts or something, and that's not really enough. So pretty much every crossbow unit has to carry 2 stacks of them, which means that you only get 2 other weapons. In this case, it's a crossbow and a sword. Anyways, that's the standard tree. And then what would have been sort of the noble troop tree, in this case, we don't have nobility. So this is just the cavalry tree. It's dedicated cavalry. And you can see we go from Eques recruits to just standard Eques. To the left, we have sort of the melee cavalry. And to the right, we have the shot cavalry. So after the Eques, we can go to the Eques Promoti, who are just more heavily armed and armored with a sort of like a light lance and a sword. The Bucalarius, same deal, just heavier armor, better weapons, but same general layout. And then the Eques Tagmata, again, just heavier and deadlier. If we go to the right, we have the Contarius, then the Cataphract, then the Clibinarius. Heavier armor all the way down, and each of these is carrying a 2-handed lance. So they won't be utilizing a shield for any purpose. The Contarius has one, but it's going to be strictly on their back. The Cataphract and the Clibinarius don't even have shields. Both of their hands are going to be occupied by the lance pretty much at all times. But you can see these guys do have maces for when they do get stuck in melee combat. They can switch to that and kind of crack some skulls. So that's our custom troop tree that we'll be utilizing. I'm going to grab, how many can we afford? That's going to be 100. 180 is not bad. I'm honestly a little bit more worried about the upkeep, but this is 18 dinars per day. That's not a lot. So let's go ahead and grab these guys. If nothing else, they'll soak up some damage for us next time we fight some looters. And I believe we have pretty much everything worth buying. We're going to head back to Poros. You have a caravan mission, caravan ambush. Reports a caravan was supposed to arrive, hasn't yet. He asks someone to investigate. I haven't done this one before. They've added a lot of quests since I've played last, and so I don't know if this is something that we could potentially handle or if we would be entirely out of our league. I also don't know how well these pay. So let's talk to him. We'll at least hear him out, and maybe we'll be able to kind of gauge whether or not this is something that we can handle currently. We'll introduce ourselves. Recently caught some bandits. I mean, we shot a bunch of looters to death. So, I heard you may need help with a problem. We don't have enough troops. Okay, well, he just told us outright we're not ready for it. Wonder how many troops is required then, because we just picked up 10. Anyway, we didn't visit the tavern yet, but it appears that there's nobody here. Oh, let's ransom that looter before I forget. All right. Oh, and we should probably level up. Wait. That was weird. I guess it just wanted me to know that the recruits were there. I leveled up, though. That's what I was thinking. So, bow. We are going to be using that quite a bit, so maybe I should throw another point in now. Leadership is not going to level until we're leading armies, but stewardship, right now we are the quartermaster, so this is a good opportunity to level that up. I'll need to earn a bit more money first, because the best way to do that is going to be to get the best variety of food that we possibly can. Oh, we should put points into trade, because we are earning a lot of money trading right now, so let's go ahead and do that. That is, I think, a smart investment. And we'll leave. Let's head back to Poros. I know it's backtracking. Hold on, who are you? Sikanis. Catapan is his title, by the way. Sikanis. What clan is that? That's this clan. So it's you. Alright, well, he's cruel. We probably don't want to do too much business with him, but we can at least see what he needs done. Oh, God, we are so slow. Go ahead and introduce ourselves. So, don't have enough troops. Okay. Decided to stop off at Tevia, which is exactly halfway between the two towns, just to see if we could recruit some more troops, and it looks like we can, so we may as well. Actually, that puts me over my troop cap. I didn't realize how few troops you're actually allowed to start with. It's been so long since I played a character from the very, very beginning. Alright, so we'll at least fill our party out. And it looks like there are 2 potential quests here. They need grain seeds. I think that's something we could handle. Go ahead and introduce ourselves to him. I heard you might need some help. Okay. Let's see. 30 bushels of grain. And we don't have that. So is there any other way? Sure, I'll find it for you. So we need 30? Is that what he said? Also, what did you have? Needs help with brigands. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. Alright, I am Adrius. I hear you have a brigand problem. Okay, sure. 2 bands of brigands. Do looters count? I'll hunt down 2 for you. I don't have a lieutenant yet, unfortunately. Alright, so our first band of looters actually came to us. They outnumber us slightly, so I think they have a chance, but they most certainly don't. Let's get our infantry into a shield wall formation. We'll actually put those shields to use, especially because they're going to be pelting us with rocks. Is there a better place that we could set up? If we had taken the initiative a little bit better, we probably could have grabbed that high ground, but unfortunately sat around a little bit too long. So we'll just stay here. I think I hit you twice, so let's keep shooting you. Oh man, my reload speed is not great. Did he really duck that by throwing? Wow, I'm awful. Okay. Infantry, go ahead and advance. F4. I almost hit F2. Telling them to advance is effectively the same as telling them to charge, except for they will make some effort to hold formation. You know what? I gotta be careful. There is friendly fire on right now, so if I swing too wildly, I can kill my own people, and I don't want to do that, obviously. Really, in the head, and he didn't die. Oh, double kill. It was like a looter kebab. Alright. Is that it? Perfect. It's nice that the looters stuck around for the whole battle, too. When they flee, you don't get any... you'll get XP, but you don't get renown for killing fleeing enemies. So, I mean, not that we got a ton of renown for that, but every little bit helps. We got 2. And 2 more prisoners. All 10 of these guys are ready to become... I guess we could go Limitani border guards. I'm inclined to go all infantry here. It's going to cost me 15 each, so 150 total. I'm honestly more worried about their upkeep than anything, because we don't have any reliable source of income right now. But I guess let's go ahead and do it. So now they have like a gambeson instead of just a tunic. And it looks like their wage is 3, so it tripled. We should still be able to handle that, though. Yeah, it's 30 a day. Not too bad. We will share our loot with the troops, just to keep morale up. There's going to be plenty of loot as it is. So all in all, we'll make about 4,200 from that, which is pretty good. We gained a level. Our trade is all the way up to 24 now. Let's see. So we have a point for an attribute as well as another focus point. I think we'll go intelligence now, just because I'm not sure what I want to invest the most heavily in, but intelligence is kind of lagging behind it too, and I know we want to get steward up pretty high. So actually, you know, steward is something that we could technically ignore. There are definitely benefits to it. There's a lot of party leader skills, but we could offload being a quartermaster to another character if we wanted to. The flip side to that, unfortunately, is that if that character dies and we are playing not permadeath, but what do you call it? AI characters can die, whether they're a lord or a companion or whatever. There is a chance that when they fall in battle, they do die. So it might be safer for us to invest in quartermaster. That way we never have to worry about, you know, if that character gets clipped by some unfortunate happenstance, we don't have to worry about leveling up somebody from scratch. So maybe it's worth it. But let's think on that. You guys are obviously welcome to weigh in. In the meantime, I think social's already a point up at 4 though. That's a tough call. You know what? Let's bring intelligence level at 3, and then we can worry about everything else. For our focus point, tactics, let's see, charm, trade, leadership. Trade might be a good one, because we are going to go all in. I'd love to get all the way to everything has a price, because if we can trade settlements, that's... I don't know, that just changes the game entirely. But there's a lot of useful things in here, even if you're not trying to, you know, roleplay a merchant. So I think, yeah, let's do another one. We're trading to make money right now, and so we may as well capitalize on the XP that we're getting. Is there anything here that we could then bring back? All right, here's your grain. You are most welcome. How much do we get from that? Let's see. Quest complete, blah, blah, blah. Relationships go up. Oh, I think it was down here and I missed it. Oh, well. I thought it said like 500 or something, but I might be thinking the looters. Yeah, I remember seeing 550. Oh, well. Oh, we're a bit low on food because I sold some of what we needed. All right, I'm going to buy one. Let's buy 2, actually. and a bit of cheese. I gotta keep these guys fed. Let's get some butter. The more variety, the better for our stewardship. Granted, we need like all the variety if we want to get the full bonus. Oh, here we go. 16. Oh, they don't want to fight me? I thought for sure they would attack. All right, we're a little bit outnumbered here. But we have about 20 looters that saw fit to attack us. I'm going to go ahead and tell my infantry to shield wall again to protect. No, that's not the right one. Shield wall to protect themselves from those rocks. I guess I'll take some pot shots with my bow. His draw speed is so painfully slow, though. Wait, are they already retreating? Oh, no, they're just going to stand there and throw rocks. Okay. All right. Go ahead and advance. Stay in your formation. Oh, they're just going to hang back and skirmish. All right. Fair play. I'm running an AI mod to make the AI more intelligent during battle, and you can kind of see it at work there. Normally, looters would just charge in to their own death, but these guys actually thought better of it and decided to skirmish a bit since they had, obviously, a range advantage. Oh, come on. That's also why the battle lines are a little bit more intelligible than normal. I'm just going to sit here and stab these guys. So, yeah, you can see our guys are holding formation pretty well there. All right, now they're fleeing. So, again, if we were worried about Renowned, we would actually want to let these guys go and then re-initiate the battle. Are you serious? I do, like, no damage, and my swing speed is so slow. It doesn't help that I'm very rusty at this game, and my aim is not what it used to be. But yeah, if we were interested in Renown, we would just let these guys go and then start the battle over again. Because we're not getting anything for killing these guys other than a little bit of XP, and honestly, looters are not where you want to go for XP anyways. Okay. We have 9 ready to upgrade into Legionnaires, actually. I'm going to go ahead and do it. I don't see any reason not to, other than, you know, money, but they're not that expensive, so we'll go ahead and do it. We'll share with our troops again. We want to keep everybody happy. So I'm realizing now as we arrive that we technically didn't complete the objective for that quest because we had to destroy 2 parties. We didn't destroy that last party for some reason. I guess one of them got away. Either way, we didn't get credit for it, so oh well. Easy come, easy go, right? Let's go ahead and grab 2 more recruits to fill out our party. We'll offload all of these goods. And that might be it for trades for a while. Cheese, olives, hardwood. We'll make more money selling this back where we initially bought it from. And we're not going to get a whole lot here for these hides, but whatever. I don't want to carry them around, so we'll just take what we can get for them. We'll also offload all of these clothes and the hammers. So we'll make 3,000. We didn't get any trade XP for that. I wonder why. Oh well. Let's see. Tavern district. Anybody here? No. Well, we'll ransom our looter. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. All right, we're going to leave. And smithy, we're going to hold off. Let's see. Polearm. So cavalry is probably the way to go here since we're going to be mounted for the majority of this playthrough. Yeah, so that will obviously be more beneficial to us because we get the bonus while mounted. Though this one doesn't specify if you have to be on foot, so potentially you would get the bonus regardless here. However, we probably wouldn't be playing infantry captain while we're mounted, but we may be an infantry captain, or excuse me, a cavalry captain, so that I think is going to make more sense. So we're up to 5583. That's not great, but it's not terrible. Let's see. What do you have? Caravan ambush. Food crisis. I don't want to run around trying to find food for people. Let's try to complete this quest. Now that we can move a bit, we're going to go find some looters to kill. And these guys look like they're going to cross paths with us. They didn't even make an attempt to flee. Or maybe they did and they're just too slow. Anyways, let's go ahead and do this. We're not going to let anybody escape this time. I'm just going to tell my group to charge. So the majority of them are legionnaires now. You can see they're much more heavily armored with the full mail. Though we do have a couple of recruits added in. Oh, this horse is so slow. I don't even know if I could couch my lance at this speed. That was a bit late. I didn't expect him to turn around. Jesus. I'm trying to kind of hang back and make sure nobody escapes. I don't know how they managed last time because I did not see anybody flee. Cool. But I think we got everybody that time. Yeah, 9 out of 9. So that should complete the quest. Again, we'll share. We'll take all this crap. And quest complete. Do we actually need to go turn it in? Nope, we already got paid. All right. So, now then, how do we want to proceed? I don't know if we're going to get any notifications regarding any of these companions. But for example, there was a couple of people who, like an actual engineer, for example. So, he's got engineering skill already. There was also a smith, but I don't think he really fit what we were looking for. I think you were a surgeon. Yeah. So unfortunately, I was hoping that by tracking them, we would get some updates as to where they might be. Maybe hear some rumors. I suppose we could pay to just send a messenger to him, and that could be the way that we recruit him. So maybe that's what we'll do. So we'll hear from him in 3 days. Okay, fair enough. In the meantime, let's see what our other options are. So establish our clan. We have the money. We need to get up to 20 men. So that's going to require us to level up a bit more. And we need to reach clan tier 1 and hire a companion. So let's see. That is probably the most tangible right now. Renown is going to require us to fight battles in which we are very outnumbered and or win tournaments. I haven't seen a tournament yet, but I honestly wasn't looking. I guess we're right outside Lycaron. Let's head back to Lycaron and visit the Coliseum, whatever the hell it's called, the arena. And we'll check in. So, Phykeon has one. Seniopa. Let's see. Started 11 days ago. Should be able to get there if you move quickly enough. Decorated plumed helmet. I don't really care what the prize is. All I care about is monetary reward, really. So, they're offering... not quite double, but pretty close. And same for Zionica. So Phykeon, Seniopa, Zionica. Let's see. We might be able to double dip if we're very, very effective or efficient in the way that we approach this. So Phykeon, Seniopa, and... okay, so that's probably not going to happen. Phykeon is going to be the closest, so... was that one of the ones that was paying twice as much? Or was that the one that wasn't paying very well? Oh. Well then, I think Zionica makes the most sense. We have the best chance to arrive there because they started 7 days ago, not 11, and the prize is nearly as good. And I guess either way, we potentially win a helmet, which we don't have a helmet right now, so that would be nice. And it takes us to the Western Empire, so technically back home. All right, did we make it? We did, perfect. We'll join. We are probably going to get wrecked because we have like no equipment whatsoever, but we'll join in anyways. Do we want to join as a team? What are our chances of winning as a team rather than... Like, all of our troops are tier 3, so I don't know if that's going to necessarily give us an advantage. Okay, well, we have one-on-one against a crossbowman. I figure maybe we can win that. Do I want to bet? I can wager up to 500. If we win, I'll quadruple my money. I suppose it's worth it. I probably will not bet any further. Oh, man. I know he's just a crossbowman, but he's pretty well armored. Oh, man. He got fucking wrecked, though. Oh, man. He got me with the feint. Got me with the feint. Come on. There we go. Okay. Let's see. So we are with a veteran archer against some really elite units. Oh man, there's like tier 5 cavalry in here. Okay. I think, yeah, if I want to bet again, I risk losing 1,000, but I could potentially gain 4,000. That seems ill-advised. There's not a great chance that we win this. Oh, great, and then the archer. Oh, shit, and I shot my own guy. Yeah, I'm just going to run. I just need to survive. We'll let another team get knocked out first. Okay, yellow's out. I'm guessing my veteran archer is probably going to be the next person to fall. I'm going to try to run the green guy into this guy. Yeah, you guys fight it out. Is this green team? Oh, crap. Please don't shoot me. Yeah, you two fight. No. Why would you run right by him? Alright. So now it doesn't matter what happens. I have like 0 chance against this guy. Especially with... Yeah. With all the feinting he's doing. I am too rusty for that. Oh man. Veteran archer again. Well, there's a crosswind on their team, so I guess it's kind of fair. You got a shield, bro. I'm staying behind you. Wow, way to just sit there and eat a bunch of sword swings. This is not gonna end well for me. Oh boy. Really? How many 50 damage javelin throws is that guy gonna eat? Oh boy. Okay, that's one down. Do I even have a... Okay, I do have a sword. That's good. This guy's too fast though. So... Oh, that worked. What I was gonna do is just unload the javelins on him and then kind of circle strafe to see if I could stay alive. I think at this point if I bet... Oh no, I could still potentially cash out. Oh no, never mind. It updated, yeah. So if you make it this far, nobody is going to bet against you at this point. Okay, at least I have a shield. With a shield, I have a chance. I don't have enough armor to soak all the hits that I would potentially be receiving. without a shield. Okay, that was a nice headshot. But I'm eating too many swings still. How much health does he have? The problem is, well, we won, so there's no problem. Cool, 5 renown, a helmet finally, 2,000 dinars, and another 5,000 for winning. Awesome. We should do tournaments more often. I just need some armor. Alright, so let's see here. We have a bunch of stuff to offload. I'm going to throw that in my head. That's pretty fancy looking. Alright. I feel like we got that a little bit earlier than we should have. It's like getting... I mean, it's only 34 head armor, which is like mid-tier. It says tier 4. So it's not like tier 5 or 6. But I feel like it's getting like endgame armor on like the starter town. Let's see. Hammers can go. Stone's just taking up space. Got a pretty good variety of food happening though, so I think I'll hold on to those. And then we can actually sell this for an okay amount. More than we paid, right? So, cool. 14k. And we finally got some trade points again. So, character leveled up. We have a perk for trade. So I was watching AstartesGaming's video guides for, you know, perk choices, and apparently wholesaler is just garbage, total garbage. The amount that you'll make by selling all the loot that you get like completely dwarfs. I think you'd have to sell like millions worth of trade goods in order to effectively net the same amount as you would from the equipment. So we're going to go with the Praiser. And I don't plan on being like a full-time trader, mind you. So that would have limited utility anyways, because it would only be good while we're still doing this kind of trade run stuff, which I'm honestly already burnt out on. And the Appraiser, on the other hand, we're always going to be fighting, so we're always going to be looting, meaning this will have utility for the entire campaign. Right, so everything looks pretty good. These right here are kind of like our main focus for the time being. But tactics is also important. Stewardship, we'll see. In terms of combat, I'm going to go a little bit more into writing. Some skills, like writing, for example, I think are a little bit harder to level because they're not as direct in how they are leveled. And so I like to keep a nice buffer just so that, you know, anything I do that qualifies for leveling up writing is giving me the most XP possible. Polearms one-handed, really easy. You just got to fight. Riding, however, you have to be fighting from horseback and effectively landing hits. Now, I'm running mods where even tournaments are giving me XP for combat. However, it's rare that I get to fight from horseback in tournaments, so that means that even when we're completely safe just earning money in tournaments, I'm still leveling these up potentially. But riding would only be getting leveled up in battle, and not while I'm commanding, mind you, only when I'm actually fighting. And then, you know, potentially in tournaments if we ever fight from horseback in tournaments. But in Imperial ones, that's rare. If we go to like Valandia or Aserai territory, maybe, or obviously Crusade territory, but yeah, in Empire territory, we're not going to be doing a lot of mounted combat in tournaments. So, yeah. Right, we're up to how many men now? We're up to 13. We can have a 14th if we are so inclined. And it looks like our Limitani is ready to become a Legionnaire. So we are up to 10 Legionnaires now. And we could even make 4 of them into Veteran Legionnaires. Now, I'm probably going to hold off. I'm a little bit worried about upkeep. Again, we're doing pretty well in terms of making money, but we don't have any sort of like, what's the word? We don't have any passive income, right? We don't have a workshop where we can just sort of sit on it and gold will appear out of nowhere. we have to be actively earning all of the gold that we have. And so I want to keep my upkeep as low as possible right now because I don't have anything to fall back on. If we lose a battle and we get looted or something, we could be broke and I can't pay my troops. Granted, they'll probably be dead at that point, but still. Anyway, here's a nice shot at our legionaries. By the way, I should have mentioned this earlier in the episode, but the shield pattern I'm rocking currently is from the Notitia Dignitatum. It's basically a book outlining sort of all of the different units in the late Roman army and sort of what command structure they fall under. And it has representations of the shield patterns to designate the unit. And somebody on the Bannerlord Banner Reddit has made several of them. So we're going to try to utilize as many as we can in this playthrough since we're going for a similar time period. And I don't recall what the unit is that this one belongs to, but in this playthrough we're going to roleplay that it is the sort of traditional, not heraldry, but sort of the traditional symbol of Rote, where we originally hail from. Not from Rote, but from the area, a village near Rote, right? So we've painted that symbol on our shield, and that's what we represent. And it would be nice, actually, if that could be maybe our first town. That's some, like maybe a little sub goal we could set for ourselves. Granted, beggars can't be choosers. We just have to take what we can get. But ideally, if we could sort of manufacture a situation in which we could sort of snipe a town, we'll probably try to make it that one. So I think this is a good place to stop. We just had a pretty nice little victory for ourselves there, and things are looking decent. We made basically 13,000 dinars in this episode, just doing a little bit of trading, a little bit of fighting, and obviously the tournament. What else? We've built up a nice little party. I'm still trying to get a companion. We should be hearing back from the one dude soon. Obviously, we sent a carrier pigeon or something to him, so it's going to take a little while before his pigeon gets back to us. But if we could recruit him for a reasonable sum of money, that'd be great. I'm not too concerned, honestly, about how much upkeep he'll cost, because if we have him as a dedicated smith, he's going to be printing money for us. So no amount of upkeep for him is basically too much, because he's going to be making us like millions of dinars eventually. So I just see it as a worthwhile investment regardless. However, he's not going to contribute much in the way of combat, I don't think. So we'll have to try to protect him as best as possible, because he can die as well. And given the size of our party, he is going to be seeing the field of battle virtually every time we visit it. So yeah, we're going to want to do our best to protect him. Now, I believe he's primarily ranged. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent right before we end the episode. Yeah, so his preferred skill, combat skill, is crossbow. So we'll make sure that he is armed as such, and we'll keep him in the back line where he will hopefully be safe. Granted, he would be the only one on the back line right now, so we might need to get some archers to keep him company. But yeah, so he does fall within our criteria. He only has one negative trait. It's impulsive. He's not cruel. You know, being impulsive is not so bad. He's daring too, so he's a man of action, and he's also honest, which is something I'm sure Adrius appreciates. Right. So I look forward to seeing the characters you guys come up with in the comments. I am very excited to be back, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you're excited for this campaign. There's a lot of different things I'd like to do in Bannerlord. This is just one, and it's kind of an idea that we've already visited slightly. Obviously, we were playing a lot of Bannerlord before I had to take a break, and this is kind of an idea that we toyed with. However, that campaign was still relatively early on before I had to stop, and because of what happened to my other computer, all of that data is gone, so we have to start over from scratch anyways. So I'm trying to kind of reimagine that essentially in this playthrough with a little bit more flavor, I guess. Now that there's a lot more mods that let me kind of do things that I want to do rather than just being kind of tied to the vanilla game. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I look forward to seeing you back here for the next episode.